The title of my book is In Pursuit of a Better Life, the ultimate guide for finding living kidney donors. And the book is an inspirational how-to guide, a how-to guide on how to share your story and how to advance your search for potential donors. You know, finding living kidney donors is not an easy process. In fact, it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. As any kidney patient would tell you, it's hard just to talk about our kidney disease, let alone talk about what we need. And especially if we're needing an organ from a living kidney donor. So it's a tough conversation. And this book allows readers to embrace concepts that allow them to work a plan for their search that's a lot smarter rather than harder. We want to really sort of engage in these conversations of naturally educating individuals who are willing to listen to our situation. A lot of it is education, but there really isn't any book out there that touches on this process. I know when I was going through the process, there wasn't any user's guide. There wasn't any owner's manual, if you will, on how to talk about your story and how to engage people in the process of learning that you could donate an organ while you're living. Most people think organ donation is when you pass. So you have to get through a few of those layers to understand that this is something that healthy individuals who are interested in seeking this path could help you with. And the book helps individuals basically feel that they're not having to go it alone. We really want the individuals that are reading this book, the kidney patients, to feel that they're part of a community and that it's okay to talk about their story. It's okay. You don't need to ask somebody to give you a kidney, but it's okay to talk about your situation, even if you're not feeling good about doing it for yourself. You want to do it for all kidney patients in need of a kidney transplant. I love that question, what inspired me, because the answer to that question literally changed my life. Plain and simple, the answer is I wanted to pay it forward. Imagine getting a gift of this magnitude, and you're not going to share your kidney with others, right? It's your kidney now. And you've had your transplant and you're living a vibrant and healthy life, and you want to give back. You want to give back to the community. I knew I was living this incredible life, and I was blessed with this wonderful gift, and I wanted to pay it forward. And how could I do that? I thought, wow, think of how difficult your path was, Risa. Think about how challenging it was to understand this process. I was able to avoid dialysis. And any kidney disease patient that wants to either bypass dialysis like I did to get a preemptive transplant, or a kidney patient that may already be on dialysis who wants to shorten their need for dialysis, this is the path. This is the ultimate path for securing a transplant and ending their wait, because gosh, we have over 95,000 people, right, kidney patients waiting on a national list right now for a kidney transplant. And the only way to end their list is to find a living kidney donor. So if I could help them, if I could share what I learned, if I could share the tools that I put together for myself and continue to build on those resources post-transplant, it would be a wonderful gift to me to give back and to pay it forward. It wasn't an easy process, and I didn't feel that it was fair for the average kidney patient to have to struggle that hard, because if they did without guidance and inspiration and tools and scripts, conversation guides, which we provide in the book, along with how to post social media information about your need, how to get other people to join your team to do this. So you get those tools together and you get your team and you start talking about your story, but even then you got to hope somebody not only is interested enough to lean forward and say, gee, maybe I could test to see if I could be a potential donor for you, but they have to be like astronaut healthy to pass all the tests. And so there's a lot of ups and downs. There are, false hopes and broken dreams. And I knew at some point that I needed to either back down and surrender. It took me almost 2 years to find my ideal donor. So at some point after I had 5 donors disqualified, after each one it was like, oh, okay, that person wasn't supposed to be my donor. Keep at it. I had to stay the course, and that takes a really strong, courageous person, and that's what I wanted to put in the book too. I wanted to help kidney patients not only embrace and be empowered by the information we provide in the book, but to believe in themselves and believe in the dream that they could possibly receive a transplant and either bypass dialysis or eliminate their need for dialysis. So I chose, instead of to back down, I chose to double down. And that's what I want my readers to do. I want them to double down. I want them to be all in. We talk about throughout the book becoming a donor magnet. That's never asking anybody to consider giving you a kidney. That's merely sharing your story from your heartstrings and hoping that your story and the education that you're providing connects to somebody else's heartstrings. So they either help you share your story or say, hey, maybe I could be someone that could help. Tell me more. I also should mention for individuals that are leaning more on their mobile devices for information like this, that we recently released an app that I would call more of a companion to this book, but we just took it 3 steps up, maybe more like 10 steps up, and we created videos. So, the written word is great, but when you can hear people, an example of certain conversations going on where we have a person speaking to a friend or a family member speaking about their friend or family member, and it's really nice to have those videos. They're like 2.5 minutes long. There's a series of 4 of them. A kidney patient could listen to these videos in English or Spanish, by the way, and be ready to put these tools into action in less than 15 minutes. So we think that the app, which is available on Android devices as well as Apple iOS, they can use the book and the app, or choose just to use one or the other. It's up to them, and really empower their process. This is really more of a jumpstart, if you will, because there's 100 pages in the book. So it's going to take you time to read those 100 pages, right? But in the book, there are also examples, letters that, maybe this is the kidney patient talking to their friends and family in a letter that may be emailed or snail mailed. Could be a donor talking to their family and friends about their decision to donate, because a lot of people, once they hear that somebody's going to donate, they think, oh my gosh, did you bump your head on the way home today? So they're educating those individuals. We've got a lot of those examples, but in the videos, in the app, we're sharing some of that information more live, if you will. You get more of the verbiage and the body language. And we really feel that the app, along with the book, is going to be a tremendous help for those who just want to jumpstart and dig right in. Of course, those who are not at that stage, they're not at, I'm ready to find a living kidney donor and get a transplant. Perhaps they were recently diagnosed or diagnosed years ago, but they haven't really put all their thoughts together to figure out, am I going to go for transplant, or will I need to be on dialysis? A lot of patients think they have to be on dialysis as a precursor to transplant, which is not true, but they may not be transplant eligible. So the second book that I wrote, actually before In Pursuit of a Better Life, is Shift Your Fate. And that book also gets into a lot of information at the end about finding a living kidney donor, but it begins, and the full body of the book is really geared to what is the difference between dialysis and transplant, and why should I be looking at a transplant instead of dialysis if I am potentially eligible.